Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see today, I am a little bit bare on the face, and that's because today we are reviewing an Irish product by a beautiful Irish lady. She's from Cork. I'm sure everyone knows who she is, Lisa Jordan. So just Jordan here on Instagram and YouTube, and this is her brand. So I just want to show you the carton because it's so pretty. There's a picture of Lisa on the back, and it just has her logo on the front. Done it by Lisa Jordan, and it's just her signature kind of rose gold mauvey kind of colour. And then this is the palette that we're going to be reviewing today, and the packaging is just beautiful. My lights are going to ruin it because it's going to reflect against it. It's like a mirrored effect, and it's rose gold, and then the front of it is white with her logo, Luna by Lisa Jordan, and then inside, wait and you see. So that is the beautiful palette right there. So you have your bronzer slash contour, blush, highlight, and then you have an eyelight. So I have no powder products on my face except for under eye set and powder. That is how I always do my makeup. I never set like my entire face because I am a little bit drier in these areas. It's really just my T-zone that gets oily, so that's the way I always do my makeup. I never set the rest of my face, so I've just my under eyes set and a little bit in my T-zone. So we're gonna hop in and rude. Fly just flew right by me. Leave. Hold on, leave. Oh no, he's not gonna go. I'm after trying to let him out the window, but he doesn't seem to want to leave. So I'm going in with a clean, fluffy, angled brush. So I'm just after dipping into that contour shade. I don't have any bronzer on, and this does kind of look a little bit more like a contour. So I hope that it's going to work on me. Oh yeah, you can see it on camera. It's really subtle. There is a little bit of kickback, so there is product coming off it, but it is very soft, so it's nice and buildable. I'm going to go in with a little bit more, bring it up around my forehead. It's not like a colour that I've ever used before. Definitely bronzing up my face, but I think I'm used to really orange bronzers, and this is kind of, it's not too cool and it's not too orange, which I like. I feel like if you're nervous of bronzer, or if you're very heavy-handed, you'll definitely like this because you can't really overdo it. It takes a little bit to build up, but you can see it's starting to build up there. I do think that if you're any deeper than me, this won't really show up on you because I feel like it's even a little bit light on my skin, but I do really like it on my skin. I think that when I'm paler, I'll even love the bronzer more, but I do love this shade. It's very natural, and it's a lovely, soft, easy to use product, and it's not going to be intimidating because it's a nice soft colour and it builds up slowly, but it does build up nicely. I'm going to go in with the blush shade now, and it's the shade Moonlight. And this blush, even a few of my clients, when they seen I uploaded that I bought this palette, they said like it was definitely my kind of blush. It's a beautiful orange shade with like a golden kind of shimmer to it, so I'm excited to put this on. Yeah, straight away it is definitely my kind of blush. I'm liking that a lot more than the bronzer so far. Gorgeous. There is a little bit of a shimmer in the product, so if you're not a fan of a shimmery blush, then it might not be for you, but I actually think it's beautiful. There's no glitter. It's a really soft sheen, so I don't really feel like it emphasizes my pores or anything like that. Obviously anything with a sheen will emphasize a little bit, but not overly. I've had well worse like blushes with like almost chunks of glitter in them that will really emphasize, but it's very soft and creamy formula, so I don't think it's going to emphasize your pores too much. I absolutely love it, and I always like to take whatever is left over and just run it across my nose, and that just connects everything in nicely. I love that blush. Probably the nicest blush I've ever used from a face palette. It's just beautiful. I would buy the face palette just for the blush alone. It's that good. So I'm going to use the eye light, which is this shade here, on a little Nema cake brush, and I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eye. It's really pigmented, so I'm just going to tap off a little bit of the excess. I never actually usually highlight the inner corner of my eye. I usually get a leaky eye, so if I do, it's always with like a cream product, so it won't budge. But this is actually really pretty, and my eyes are actually fine today. Usually in the summer I have awful hay fever. But yeah, I'm not usually a fan of inner corner highlight, but that is beautiful. Usually I would just use like my highlighter for it, rather than have a separate highlighter, but I do like the idea, and I like the way she called it an eyelight instead of like an eye highlighter. I think that's cute. And then the pan that I'm most excited for is the highlighter in it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. When I did swatch it, it kind of swatched like extremely pigmented and even a little bit kind of glittery, which I'm really not a fan of. I really like a smooth highlight, so we'll see how we go and see if that's the way it comes across on the skin or not. Using my Morphe M510 brush, so I'm just going to take a little bit just to start with. That is probably one of the most intense highlighters I've probably ever used. You literally only need a drop of it on your brush. So I haven't even double dipped. Usually I'm like dipping into my highlighter. That is beautiful. You can see the difference. That is absolutely beautiful. You can see the difference of like my matte side and then the highlighter. But I do find though, the blush does have that little bit of a glow, so your skin won't be completely matte if you do decide to skip the highlight. I'd actually love to use the eye light as well. I'm going to try it out another day and use the eye light as a highlight too, because I think that would be nice too. They're quite similar undertones. I still think it would be nice as a highlight as well. It's a little bit more silvery than I'm used to. I usually go for like a more golden highlight, which would be similar to the undertone of the blush. I usually go for a more highlight that's like more golden like that, but it is still really pretty. I do think that if you're fairer than me, this palette is going to be like your like ideal go-to. And it's definitely one I'll be using in my kit. If you ever feel like your highlight just looks like it's sitting on your skin, I always go in with just my finger and I like to melt the highlight into my skin. I used to always actually just apply my highlight with my finger, but I do like a brush, and then I like to go in with my finger. First applied that highlighter, I did think, oh my god, this is intense. But once I melted it in with my finger, it was fine, and I think it actually looked really like dewy and wet looking on the skin, which I absolutely love. But I would say a little goes a long way, and I feel like it's a really good highlighter for a lot of skin tones. Maybe not much darker than mine, but I feel like from light to my skin tone it's going to be brilliant. So yeah, I actually really like that. I'm going to just give my final thoughts on the whole palette. So I think my favourite part of the palette is definitely the blush, because it's just like me in a blush form. I absolutely adore it. There's a golden undertone to it. It's really peachy, just gives the skin a beautiful glow. You don't need much of it either. It's really pigmented, really creamy as well. It's literally just my kind of blush. If I could make a blush, it would probably be that blush, because it is so good. I absolutely adore it. The bronzer is lovely. I think it's more daytime for me. I just love an orangey bronzer, like give me sun or something. I need to look a bit tango to feel. I just love that. But I think for daytime this is actually beautiful, and I'm actually surprised how much I like it. It's more pulled back and a bit more muted, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and I like the kind of natural contour it gives my skin. I get that question all the time about bronzer and how sometimes it can be just so intense, especially for very fair girls. They just don't know what to do with it. So I find that if you're very fair and you're nervous of bronzer, you're gonna love the bronzer. The highlight is actually probably the most intense highlight I've used, and I've used a lot of highlights. It's actually gorgeous. I really like it. I didn't think I would, because it's leaning more on the silvery side on my skin, but it's really, really pretty. So it's gorgeous. It's like a champagne-y silver. It's not pure silver, but I really, really like it. And the inner corner highlight is really pretty. I actually just purely love the packaging. I love the fact that it has that little mirror on it too. It just makes it so handy for traveling. It's nice and sturdy and compact. It's something that you would like to sit on your vanity, and it was only €20, which is absolutely brilliant. I would spend €20 on a blush. So you're getting 4 things in the palette. I do wish maybe instead of the highlighter that you put a darker bronzer in or something. I know there probably wouldn't be much room, but I feel like you could either leave out one or the other. I feel like the big highlight, just keep that, leave that out, the little one, and like give us a darker bronzer maybe. People are really gonna love to travel with this, and it's really nice and compact. And I'll definitely be using it in my kit. For €20, I really don't think you can go wrong with this product. It's just so affordable, especially for the quality that you're getting, and I'm really happy with it. I'm even happy just to spend €20 on the blush alone, and I really like that blush. So yeah, that is my final review. I think it's well worth the money, and Lisa, I've met her in person, and she is the most beautiful, loveliest, just down-to-earth girls you could ever meet, and I just am so happy for her, and the quality of the products that she's been releasing is just amazing. And yeah, if you have the palette, let me know what you think of it. And yeah, I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye!